and welcome in or welcome back. It's a Monkey Mar. Before we get into today's video, please make sure you click the like, the subscribe, and the bell for notifications. Hey guys, welcome in. So yesterday I decided to go live and stream the Christian Bahena Rivera sentencing, which is going to be delayed now because they're saying a new motion connects Xavior Harrelson. So I'm not sure if all of you have seen the appearance in court yesterday, but it really made me start to think about who these players were, and of course now I'm gonna have to go get nosy and investigate. But let's just listen to what she says about the key players that are involved in this new motion. So I guess Bahena claims that, the two men were at his house and they made him do what he did and put Molly in the cornfield. So whatever. Me personally, I don't buy it. But the connection to Xavior Harrelson, I can't say I buy it. I can't say I don't buy it. Because if Xavier's mom was dating this man who owned this house, then I just can't even speculate on something like that. But this was mind-blowing. So real quick, let's listen to her. And if you have already heard it, then just go ahead and fast forward through this part. So let's hear this craziness.
Violence from Mr. Jones, that he held a gun to her head on an occasion. And further, there is evidence through a deputy that Gavin Jones was arrested and in the same car with Ms. Fox. So we've got two separate people. Since this information has come together, we have continued to investigate. And through our investigation, through no evidence that's been provided by the state, through our independent investigation, we received a search warrant that was authored in 2019 involving James Lowe. James Lowe is alleged to be a sex trafficker that is was sex trafficking women out of a home in Mahaska County. James Lowe, even more concerning, a separate woman came forward in 2019 and said that she was introduced to James Lowe at a Casey's in Brooklyn, Iowa. So the same town that Molly Tibbetts was abducted from. This woman says that she was given gas money and lured to James Lowe's residence that another male in Adam Moshman owns, and that she was put in a room, drugged. This woman was deemed credible as law enforcement requested from a magistrate a search warrant, and they were granted a search warrant for James Lowe's residence. There also was information in the search warrant that there was another woman that was attempted to be abducted by James Lowe, and she identified him as 90 to 100% the person that attempted to abduct her. James Lowe is currently in custody. He is currently in custody on federal firearms charges. He was arrested just 2 days after Xavior Harrelson was missing. So the information we have is we have these two people coming forward identifying Gavin Jones. Gavin Jones indicating that he was a sex trafficker for a 50-year-old man, that he was at a trap house of a 50-year-old man of 2018. So just 2 months prior to the Molly Tibbetts investigation. What information do we have? We have information that 3 people have vanished out of thin air in this small rural county. Molly Tibbetts, Xavier Harrelson, and the woman that reported being abducted in May of 2018 and sex trafficked.
Okay, that's all I need to hear. Oh my gosh. I was watching this yesterday with a couple of you guys, and I was thinking to myself, this is so freaking bizarre. But now I am hearing, they don't say it, but I have heard that Xavier's mom was dating this 50-year-old man. I think the friend that actually called Xavier in missing was on another creator's panel, and she met Sarah after the fact. I think she said she met Sarah and Xavier in 2019, but I'm not sure of her story. I'm not sure of this story, but let's go see if we can connect the dots. So we know the girl's name is Voss. I have actually made a couple of notes. Okay, so from that whole entire court hearing, I got out of there James Lowe, the 50-year-old male, alleged traffic. The first woman, I think the last name was Voss, is what I'm gathering. Voss. I'm not going to assume or speculate, but I will see if I can tie a Voss into the situation. Was taken to the house in 2019, introduced in Brooklyn, Iowa, where Molly Tibbetts was kidnapped. Then we have an Adam Moshman. He owned the house in Brooklyn. He claims he worked for James Lowe. We hear her say there was a search warrant for James Lowe's residence, but no information on that. I got that there was a second woman almost abducted by James Lowe. And then I've got James Lowe in custody on firearm charges, arrested 2 days after Xavior went missing. And then there's a Gavin Jones, who also works as a trafficker for James Lowe. Trapped May 2018, abducted 2 months prior to Molly's investigation. And of course I spelled that wrong. I don't know why the S is there. And then we've got July 7th is the new hearing date for the motion for new hearing. And it's going to be a full day. I am definitely going to be streaming that. And let's go ahead and check out this one article real quick. Let me hit on some points that were not discussed yesterday that I was actually working on the night before this little hearing took place. So, Bahena Rivera sentencing delayed after a twisting case. New motion connects to Xavior Harrelson. It's a motion. It's not evidence that there's a connection to Xavier. He is such a creeper. Especially him sitting in the courthouse yesterday. He has absolutely zero expression. He is like just there. So we know they requested a new motion for a new hearing. That motion for the new hearing is going to be, like I said, I think the 27th is what I said. So, okay, so this part. New documents which the judge has sealed identify that 50-year-old, name redacted, James Lowe, and claim that he was operating a ST ring out of a residence in New Sharon in the summer of 2018. Inmate number 2 said he went to the trap house owned by that man and saw Molly bound and gagged and admitted to killing her. In a supplemental motion for new trial, the defense argues that the man owning the trap house is connected to at least 10 other missing children, Poweshiek County or nearby counties. Most recently, the disappearance of Xavior Harrelson. Bahena Rivera's attorneys claim he had a relationship with Xavier's mother, Sarah Harrelson, and they lived together for a period of time. They say that through an investigation, he may have been one of the last people to see Xavier. The defense is claiming that the prosecution's failure to turn over reports involving trap houses and kidnapping is a due process violation. But we do know now that he is going in front of the judge to see if he gets a new trial granted. So, that was the little bit of that court hearing we watched yesterday. So let's go find these key players and see where they live and get a little nosy and see what it is all about. This is just absolutely crazy. And I do pray that they have Xavier in one of these houses and he's alive. But where are these 10 other missing children? The defense argues that the man owning the trap house is connected to at least 10 other missing children. Let's go see if we can find these missing children as well, because I'm curious and I have to know the answers to what I'm thinking. But if this video does get too long, guys, I am going to have to make it a two-parter. So first, let's take a look at the layout of how close these areas are, which actually they're pretty close. So we're going to start in Brooklyn, where Molly Tibbetts went missing and where she was found. We are going to go into Montezuma. Now, Montezuma, Iowa, and Brooklyn, Iowa are both in Poweshiek County. In the article, we read that they were living in a house in New Sharon. New Sharon is right through here. It's a little bit south into the west of Montezuma, and I believe it was 5 miles, about 6 miles. So this is the area. So we've got the Molly Tibbetts, Xavior Harrelson from Montezuma, all in Poweshiek County. I do not know if New Sharon is in Poweshiek County, but let's go real quick and find out. And no, New Sharon is in Mahaska County. So now we get a little idea of how close this area is, because actually it is pretty close. Considering, the whole Molly Tibbetts situation, I believe they found who did the crime, and I believe that is Christian Bahena Rivera. Well, there's no question in my mind. Also, let's go see if we can find these men, James Lowe and those other two. Let's go check into the Iowa Department of Corrections. Okay, so let's call this guy the player 1. This is James Lowe, the 50-year-old that was supposedly dating Xavior Harrelson's mom and the one that was running the trap house. So he is in custody at Lynn County Jail, offender ID number, and then this is another one in Iowa. And look at what he looked like back in 6/30/2021. I don't know, but unless he got arrested looking like that and then he shaved and cleaned up in jail, I don't know. So this is him. We'll call him player number 1. So scheduled release date 6/28/2024. He looks like a little bit of a creeper. His eyes look empty. So now let's go find player number 2. But I'll tell you what about this James. I cannot connect him to one address in Iowa, but I can connect him to a lot of addresses in Kentucky. I may have to look him up in Kentucky too. So let's go see if we can find Gavin Jones. And then there's an Adam Moshman who owned the house in Brooklyn. And also with James Lowe, I can't put him and Sarah Harrelson in an address together. Xavior Harrelson's mom. And this was the one that was arrested. When was it? 2 days after Xavier went missing. I don't know, he looks really creepy here. I don't know what he reminds me of, but he reminds me of a little bit like Charles Manson, but that's my opinion. Okay, so let's go see if we can find these other creepers. So let's call this one player number 2. This is Gavin. He's the one that was supposedly working for player number 1, James Lowe, and he was going out and getting girls for the trap house. Supposedly, when he was arrested, he was in the car with the Voss woman. I have not tried to find her yet, but I am going to. So, player number 2, 21, in custody. He was actually, I don't know when he was arrested. I am going to have to go look into the jail and see when he was booked. Because, well, actually March 10th, 2020, that might be the date. So this is him, 21 years old, working for that 50-year-old Charles Manson looking creeper. So who is the Voss lady? And I'm actually going back and forth and listening to the defense attorney as she is talking again so that I can actually get all the facts correct. Well, the defense's supposed facts. Okay, so we've found player 1 and we have found player 2. So let me see if I can find this Voss girl, and I am probably going to just go ahead and wrap up this video. I just want to see about the owner of the house, the Moshman. Let's go see. 1 sec. I'll be back. Okay, so the house that they were working out of is the house in New Sharon, because that is in Mashaka County. And he was arrested. He was in the Mashaka County jail. So, what's 21 years old? What are you doing? I do not understand. This world is definitely scary. All of the kids that have gone missing lately, and I know most of them run away and go off with their friends, but it's crazy. It's a crazy world. Alright guys, drop them comments, drop them opinions, and with that, it is a wrap. I want to thank you all for coming in. Thank you for watching. Please like or dislike, whichever you prefer, and subscribe. Everyone have a good day or a good night wherever you are in the world, and stay vigilant. I am out.